Hello YouTube family members and friends. It's less than 11 months to go until our Disney Land and Sea adventure next May. As we mentioned in our trip announcement video, we're doing a series of informational and review videos leading up to our trip. This first vlog, we're going to share our thoughts on, is a Disney cruise worth the price?
Disney cruises are expensive. We agree to that.
Disney vacations in general are more expensive than similar type vacations. There's a lot of reasons for that. The main reason is that there's a lot of people that really like Disney and what they have to offer, and they're willing to pay extra to get it. The question then is, how much more expensive are they? We compared the cost of a Disney cruise with a Walt Disney World vacation and a Caribbean cruise on another cruise line. When we did the comparison, we wanted to do apples to apples. So we looked at the price for a family of 4, 2 adults and 2 kids, spending a week at Walt Disney World, which includes a room, 3 meals a day, theme park admission with a 4-day park hopper plus, and for the cruise, a similar destination. First, we're going to look at the cost for a Disney cruise versus a Walt Disney World resort vacation. On average, the cost of a week's vacation at Walt Disney World, staying in a value resort, is about the same as the cost for a Disney cruise, staying in an inside stateroom. That's about $6,600 for the week. The cost difference between staying a week at a deluxe resort versus the cost of staying in a veranda balcony room on the ship is very significant. The cost for the week at Walt Disney World would be $8,500. Surprisingly, to us anyway, the cost for a week-long Disney cruise in a veranda balcony room is about $1,300 less, or $7,200 for the week. Now we realize your actual cost may be different based on specials that you can get from Walt Disney World at certain times of the year, and every once in a while they might have specials on the cruise line. So what you actually pay may be a little different. So the bottom line for us is cost should not be a main factor when you decide whether to go on a cruise, a Disney cruise, or spend a week at Walt Disney World. The question is, what factors should you consider? We think there are 4 main ones. The first one is that Walt Disney World has theme parks. So if your family likes to do the theme parks and go on the attractions and do all those sorts of things, then a Walt Disney World vacation would probably be a better choice for you. You could, however, do what we're doing on our next trip, and that's spending a day or 2 at Walt Disney World and then going on a shorter cruise. We're going on a 4-night cruise, but they have 3-night and 4-night cruises out of Port Canaveral. The second thing you want to consider is the stress level and the pace difference between a cruise and the theme parks.
Big difference, yeah.
As anybody knows who's been to one of the theme parks, it can get pretty hectic. It's kind of hard to slow down at one of the theme parks because there's so much to do.
Right.
On the cruise ship, however, I won't say you're forced to relax, but it's much easier to relax. There's just a slower pace, but that's not to say it's boring by any stretch of the imagination.
There's plenty to do every single day for all levels of ages and all levels of interest.
The third factor is dining. When you go to Walt Disney World and you want to go to a sit-down restaurant, you're going to need reservations, especially if there's a particular one that you want to go to.
Or a particular time.
So yeah, you might be able to find a really early dining time or a really late dining time. But if you got kids, sometimes that's not easy to do. It's hard to do that. On the cruise ships, though, you don't have to worry about dinner reservations because you're assigned to one of two seatings. If you like, though, on certain days, or all the days if you want to, you don't have to eat in the main dining room. You can either eat at the Cabanas buffet, or they have several counter service restaurants, or they have room service, which can come in pretty handy, and it's all included in the price of your fare. Another thing we love about dining on the cruise ships is you have the same wait staff. Every night as you go from restaurant to restaurant to restaurant, they have 3 main dining rooms, your wait staff follows you, and the service they provide is amazing.
Exceptional dining service.
Another great thing about dining on the ships is you literally can eat as much as you want. Not that you should. You certainly get more than enough just eating one entree and one appetizer, but if you're not sure what you want, you could say, well, I'd like one of these and one of those, or bring me those 2 appetizers and I don't want a salad tonight. Pretty much it's your call, and they will bring what you ask for.
Very accommodating.
Yes.
For even the kids, for the adults, just over the top accommodations.
Yeah. And the buffets are all you can eat. You can go for breakfast or lunch. That's usually where we would have our breakfast and lunch, is at Cabana's buffet. But you can also get those at a sit-down restaurant if you want to. And then they have the counter service, and then they have self-serve, soft-serve ice cream. You see a lot of people walking around with ice cream cones.
You see a lot of us walking around with ice cream.
You were supposed to say that. And room service is available 24 hours a day. And it's surprisingly fast. The first time we ordered it, we thought we may have to wait for, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I would say within 5 or 10 minutes, they were at our room with what we had ordered. So it's good, and it's fast, and it's included. The last thing you might want to consider is logistics. When you stay at Walt Disney World, you're staying at one of the resorts, but you have to get to whatever park you're going to. And Walt Disney World covers a lot of area. They have amazing transportation around the resort. It can be time consuming. There may be times when it takes an hour for you to get from your resort to the park that you want to go to. On the cruise ships, that's not as much of a problem because everything is literally within walking distance. Now we're going to talk about comparing a Disney cruise with other cruise lines. For this comparison, we looked at 5 of the most popular cruise lines that serve the Caribbean. The average cost for a balcony stateroom on one of those cruise lines is about $4,100. That's 75% less expensive than a Disney cruise.
That's pretty significant.
Yes, that is pretty significant. After looking at that and talking about, well, we could go on more cruises if we went on another cruise line, we have decided that it's worth it. And there are 4 main reasons that we have for choosing Disney, paying the extra price, and going on those cruises instead of with other cruise lines. The first reason is amazing customer service. Their attention to detail is amazing. A lot of times it almost seems like they're reading your mind, but you see that level of service across all areas. And we think that's something that you don't get on other cruise lines. You really don't get it in a whole lot of other places anywhere. The second thing that we really like aboard the Disney cruise lines is dining. It seems that dining has traditionally been a big part of the cruise line experience, and we think Disney does it very well, especially in comparison to what we've heard from family members and friends that have been on other cruise lines.
Right.
Here too, having to make reservations is a big deal because on most of the other cruise lines, while they have main dining rooms, they have a number of specialty restaurants, and those tend to have higher quality food. So if you want a variety of food options, then you need to make reservations at one of those other restaurants.
That aren't included in the fare.
Yeah, some of them also have upcharges. They may not have any reservations available that night or for the time that you want to dine. So that's a big consideration, at least for us. We like being able to know when we're going to have dinner and our table's going to be ready. Also on a Disney cruise, the quality of all of their food is outstanding. Whether you're eating at the buffet, one of the main dining rooms, room service, or even the quick service fast food counters around the pool, the food is amazingly good. We haven't heard that about all of the food on some of the other cruise lines. We've heard that sometimes the buffets are so-so.
Yeah, just
You know.
so-so.
Yeah, and the same for the main dining rooms. They don't really change the menus in the main dining rooms. If you want to have variety, then you go to one of the other restaurants. Plus, as we mentioned, the quick service fast food counters, that's all included in the price of your fare. Soft serve ice cream, all included. Room service, all included. And soft drinks are included. And that's not something that most of the other cruise lines offer. You can buy a soft drink package, but it costs extra.
And the other thing that was included, that's not included at any of the theme parks, is the character breakfast.
Yes.
And that required reservations, but that wasn't any extra charge. The food was fantastic. The interaction with the characters, with the kids, was just priceless.
Yeah. And that kind of plays into one of the other things that we really like about the Disney cruises is the entertainment. In addition,
And all the character meet and greets.
Yeah.
They're scheduled. They're everywhere on every deck.
and in addition to that, which is great for the kids, they have Broadway caliber musical presentations every night.
Aladdin. We've seen Frozen. And what was it?
Well,
we're gonna see
Beauty
and the Beast on the next one.
Yeah.
And those are so much anticipation.
Also on the Disney cruises, they have a lot of variety performers that do nightly shows, both in the main showroom and then down in the adults only lounges. Another thing we like about the Disney cruises is that they show first run Disney and Marvel movies. And they also show classic Disney movies, both on your televisions in your TV in your room, as well as on Funnel Vision, which is a large, big screen TV on the pool deck, and they show classic Disney movies all day long. So that's kind of fun to go see those. Another thing they have on the Disney ships are fireworks at sea. That's all part of the Pirate Night, which is a whole evening that's themed around Pirates of the Caribbean. There's a deck party with pirate actors and a storyline, and it ends with an amazing fireworks show fired off the side of the ship. And then throughout the day, they've got character meet and greets, and they've got activities for kids, for adults, for families. There's games, karaoke, trivia, animation classes, there's cooking classes. There's just an amazing range of things to do or not do. The last reason that we prefer the Disney Cruise Line ships is the decor. They have made a conscious decision to design the ships and decorate the ships in a classic cruise line style. The other cruise lines have a more contemporary look. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we just prefer the classic style. And on some of the bigger ships on the other cruise lines, you get the feeling sometimes that you're in a mall or a fun zone amusement park. Just kind of large and over the top, and that's just something that we don't prefer. Another difference is the size of the staterooms. All of the Disney staterooms are larger than similar staterooms on the other cruise lines. And the one thing that we really like, especially if you're staying with kids, is the split bathroom. They have two separate compartments. One has the tub and a sink, and the other one has a toilet and the sink. So you can have two people getting ready at the same time, somebody using the bathroom while the other person is getting ready or taking a shower in the other room. And Disney Cruise Line is the only cruise line that offers this feature, and it's in the vast majority of their staterooms. We really like that.
Correct, yeah.
So, to answer the question of this video, we definitely think that a Disney cruise is worth the extra cost. If you have any comments about Disney vacations or comparisons with other vacation options, we'd like to hear them below. Leave a comment below. And if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification button, and that way you'll get notified when we put up our next video, because we've got several more coming before we leave on our cruise. But as always, we thank God for all the blessings that He gives us, not just for our good, but ultimately for His glory.